Luna's eyes were never fully closed. Not when she slept, not when she was calm, not in 8 months at the shelter, not in 9 days with the first family who returned her, not in the second home that brought her back and called her unsettling. Her eyes were always open, and when Claire finally understood why, it changed the way she saw everything. The first thing anyone noticed about Luna was her eyes, not because they were beautiful, though they were, large and round and silver gray, the kind of eyes that seemed too big for her small face, like someone had pressed 2 full moons into a kitten and forgotten to leave room for anything else. People noticed them because they were always open, completely, entirely, unnervingly open. She didn't blink the way other cats blinked. She watched, constantly, carefully, with the focused intensity of something that had learned a long time ago that the moment you stopped paying attention was the moment something went wrong. The rescue coordinator at Millfield Animal Shelter named her Luna the day she arrived. She was 8 months old, 3 pounds underweight, and had been found in an abandoned apartment with 6 other cats and no food source the neighbors could identify. The apartment had been empty for at least 2 months, maybe longer. Nobody knew exactly how long she had been alone in there. Her file said anxious. Her behavior said something closer to haunted. She spent her first week at the shelter in the back corner of her kennel, not hiding exactly, watching. She would sit perfectly still for hours, eyes tracking every movement, every sound, every person who walked past. She didn't hiss, she didn't scratch, she simply observed everything with an alertness that the shelter workers found unsettling in a way they struggled to explain. One of them, a woman named Diane, who had worked with rescue animals for 11 years, said it was the most watchful animal she had ever seen. "It's like she's waiting for something bad to happen," Diane said, "and she won't let herself stop watching long enough for it to catch her off guard." She was returned twice in 3 months. The first family said she was too tense, that she made them uncomfortable, that she sat on the windowsill at night and stared at the street, and they couldn't sleep knowing she was watching like that. The second family lasted 9 days. They said she never relaxed, that they had never seen her close her eyes fully, not even when she slept, that it felt less like owning a cat and more like being observed by one. Both families used the same word when they brought her back: unsettling. Claire was not looking for a cat. She was a kindergarten teacher, 31 years old, recently moved into a small apartment after a long stretch of living with roommates. She had gone to the shelter with her sister, who was adopting a rabbit, and had fully intended to leave with nothing but moral support and maybe a coffee on the way home. Then she walked past Kennel 7. Luna was sitting at the front of her kennel, not in the corner where she usually retreated, but right at the door, eyes fully open, watching Claire with an expression that was impossible to read. Not friendly, exactly, not hostile, something in between that felt more like an evaluation than a greeting. Claire stopped. She didn't know why, she just stopped and looked back. They stayed like that for almost 2 minutes, just looking at each other, while Claire's sister waited impatiently near the rabbit enclosures. Then Claire did something she hadn't planned. She raised her hand slowly and pressed 2 fingers against the kennel door. Luna looked at the fingers, then at Claire's face, then back at the fingers. She leaned forward and pressed her nose to them. Claire adopted her 40 minutes later. The first month was quiet in the way that felt less like peace and more like held breath. Luna moved through the apartment slowly, methodically. She mapped every corner, every surface, every window. She identified the sounds the building made at night, the pipes, the elevator, the neighbors upstairs, and cataloged them with the seriousness of someone building a security system from scratch. She slept in short stretches, never deeply, always positioned so that she could see the door. Claire started leaving a small lamp on at night, not for herself, for Luna. If you're still watching but haven't subscribed yet, that honestly stings a little. Hit that button. You'll want to be here for what comes next. By week 3, something small shifted.
Luna started sleeping on the end of Claire's bed, not curled up, not relaxed, but present, choosing proximity over the corner. It was the first time she had voluntarily closed the distance between herself and another living thing. Claire didn't move, didn't reach for her, just let her be there. By week 6, Luna was sleeping against Claire's legs. By week 8, her eyes, for the first time Claire had ever witnessed, were partially closed. Not fully, not the deep sleep of a cat without history, but closer. The night that changed everything happened on a Thursday in November. Claire had come home late, tired and cold. She dropped her bag at the door, sat down on the kitchen floor with her back against the cabinet, and just stayed there. Luna appeared from the hallway. She walked to Claire slowly, stopped 2 feet away, looked at her with those enormous, perpetually open eyes, and then stepped forward and climbed directly into Claire's lap. She had never done that before, not once in 8 weeks. She tucked her head under Claire's chin and went still, and for the first time, Luna's eyes closed, fully, completely. The vigilance that had defined every waking moment of her life, all of it, gone. Just a small gray cat, eyes finally shut, breathing slowly in someone's lap on a kitchen floor. Claire sat there for a long time. She didn't want to move. Luna is 2 years old now. She still watches everything, still maps every room she enters, still tracks sounds with the precision of something that learned early that the world was not always safe. Those habits don't disappear, they just become less desperate. But she sleeps now, really sleeps, curled on Claire's pillow, eyes closed, chest rising and falling with the easy rhythm of an animal that has decided, after a long time of not being sure, that she is somewhere worth staying. She still climbs the curtains, she still sits on the windowsill and watches the street, and sometimes, late at night, Claire will look over and find Luna watching her instead, those wide silver eyes steady and calm, and no longer waiting for something bad. Just watching, the way you watch something you want to keep. Some animals carry their history in ways you can see, in the tension of a body that never fully relaxes, in eyes that learned to stay open because closing them once meant missing something that hurt. Give them time, give them consistency, give them a lamp left on in the dark, and the patience to let them decide when they're ready. Because the day they finally close their eyes in your presence, that's not a small thing. That's everything. Was there ever an animal in your life that took a long time to trust you, but when they finally did, it changed everything? Tell me in the comments.